Yeah, good morning, all of you students. So today our topic is from Unit 2. So today we are going to start with Unit 2, and that is about interactions. Okay, so here going into the details of this chapter. So first let's see what is an interaction. So what you know about interaction, what we have learned about in basic building blocks. Anyone? Yes, ma'am. Where we have studied at least this terminology? Anyone? Yes, expect answer from you. Interaction, where we heard. Is it audible? Hello?
Ma'am, and structural, ma'am.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
structural? Yeah, tell me, under structural where?
under sorry, ma'am. Under behavioral interaction and
Ah,
state missions.
the behavioral interactions and state machines, and how we represent interactions. Solid arrow. That arrow also will be bold, or sometimes in some tools it's represented as just the pointing arrow. Okay, so that is what interaction. So the general meaning of interaction means it's the communication between two. Okay, but here in UML or in any programming language, who are communicating? Who are the exact participants in communication? Who are interacting with whom? Who is the initiator? So those are nothing but objects. Many times I was telling you, since because of initiation of one operation based on one subject object, so the function definition is going to be iterated, is it not so? So similarly, so based on at that particular point of time, so the things keeps changing. Maybe the one which is ideal at this second, maybe the next second it start iterating on some method for what it have been initiated for. Okay, so all these things comes under dynamic aspects. So dynamic aspects of the system, and these things we call them as interactions. So by communicating between two objects, so either it can be it can carry out some action or it can perform some operation based on the message sent. Okay, so sending of a signal or message may be uh, comprising of creation and destruction of the other objects. So anything can be a message. So all the things, interaction, message, we are going to study in detail in today's class. Okay, so we use mostly interactions for to model the flow control. What exactly, how exactly it is going, who is initiating whom, how the flow is going on. So that is done, whether it is within an operation or a class or a component or a use case or as a system as a whole. Okay, so these interaction diagrams can reason about these flows in two ways. So the first way, we are focusing on the dispatch of messages. Dispatch of messages across the time. So if you remember, this is nothing but our sequence diagrams. Whereas second one, we focus on the structural relationship among the objects. So this is nothing but collaboration diagram. Okay, so these are the most emphasis where the interaction among objects will come into picture when it comes with respect to the first one, dispatch of messages across time, that is sequence diagrams, and focus on structural relationship among objects is the second one. Okay, that is collaboration diagram. Okay, So in detail, we are going to study each one here. So let's see, interaction means what we said, it's a communication. And that communication, how it is communicated? Through a message. And how that message is given in UML? It is rendered as a direct line, almost always include the name of its message, what exactly it is saying. So let's see the example here. So if you see the example of this, so here this example is having messages, links and sequencing. Say here a traffic planner is a class, but it instance T underline is an object, and flight plan is a class, and P is the instance of flight plan underline. So then that becomes an object. So here object T of a traffic planner and object P of flight plan are communicated. So what they are communicating? So T instance is asking the flight plan instance to get position at time. So they may be booking a ticket, a traffic planner. Okay, so it can be booking a ticket or sending some message to the flight plan, what exactly how it has to work. So this is what we call it as message. Okay, and that message, what message is sent is the label on that interaction symbol. Okay, and usually if it is collaboration, we number them, that is a sequence number for that message. And these are the messages what we call, and these are the objects, and between the objects the relation is link we call. So the terminology, let it be clear, we should not say association between two classes, we should say as link. If they are classes, then it is association. Okay, so once get position at time t by passing parameter t is passed to flight plan object, then it is going to check its schedule, get last checkpoint. So it is going to get the information about where last checkpoint have been done. Okay, so this is some scenario where how objects are communicated, and that communication we are giving using a message, and that message labeling, numbering. Okay, and the relation between objects link. So this is, you have to just remember some example showing that some example where we can talk about all the interaction concepts. Okay, so this is the introduction about the interactions chapter. So now as every chapter have two parts, so similarly interaction chapter also is having two parts. The first part is about terms and concepts. It's nothing but the terminology. Okay, so again here the definitions of interaction and messages are given. So let's see in detail. As I told you, an interaction is a behavior that comprises of set of messages which have to be exchanged, communicated between two set of objects, and within some context of task or a purpose what it has to perform. So based on the scenario, they are going to work, the two objects, how they are communicated and all will be taken care. So that is what we call it as interaction, the overall communication of sending and receiving messages to perform a particular purpose or a task between two objects is called interaction. Okay, and what is a message? Message is a specification. See, for every interaction symbol, above that we are specifying. Okay, what I am specifying? See, I simply just don't communicate with you, but I am communicating something which is important, what have to be communicated. Okay, so likewise, when a message is sent from one object to the other, so message is a specification of communication. See, without a label, if an object is communicating with the other object, just only interaction means what interaction, what message it has sent. We don't have any specific details over there. But if we have message, so clearly we can say, so this is the message sent from one source object to the target object. So that is what we call it as message, and that conveys the information with the expectation that activity will ensure. Maybe it will be the initiation of some creation of an object. Later that object have to be created. So likewise, the message, based on the message, any action can be performed later based on that message. So that is what the message here. Okay. So under terminology, the first one is about context. So where exactly we come across interactions? Context means where is the environment? What environment? Under what scenario? Where exactly we are going to have the interactions? So we can find interaction between objects which are linked to one another, which are under communication, interaction. So in that context only, we will get interactions. And here, we also find interaction in collaboration of objects, and we also find interaction in class diagrams also. Okay, and we also find interaction, what are the different objects we have studied in instances chapter, if you remember. Concrete instances, prototypical instances. Concrete are static ones, prototypical are dynamic ones. So all such things can be the context for interaction. Okay, so here some example of web commerce is given, where book order, the instances of classes like book order and order form. Okay, so they are communicated, and their instances are communicated for what? For ordering the book. Okay, so that is the purpose over there, and those are the instances communicated. Okay, so next one, second one under terminology of interactions is about objects and roles. So here again we can talk about the objects. So object is that participate in interaction. Either that object can be a concrete or prototypical instance. Okay, so the next one, in context of interaction, we find the instances of classes, components, nodes, and use cases. Okay, so this is the other instance. Although abstract classes and interfaces do not have direct instances, but they represent indirect instances of any concrete children of abstract class as some of the concrete realization as interface. So that means it's nothing but prototypical instances. It's nothing but the prototypical instances. So here we are talking about all objects and their instances, and how these object roles are there. So if they are concrete, static role. If they are dynamic, prototypical role of that instance. Okay. And the next terminology is about third one, that is links. So at the beginning of this chapter only already I told you what is a link. The communication or the relationship between two objects, we call it as a link. So that is what the link given here. So here if you see this example, the other day I was trying to explain this example theoretically, but still if anyone needs any more clarity, now it will be more clearer by seeing this example. So here links and association. So in other terms we can say link is an instance of association. Okay, so that is given diagrammatically. So here if you see, person and company are the classes. Person, who is an employee, one or many persons can be the employees for many companies. And here we are giving association. Okay, classes and their relationship is association given here. But these classes instances are objects. these classes instances are objects, and objects are giving the relationship as link. So classes relationship is association, object relationship as link. So when we say object as instance of a class, so similarly we can say link is an instance of association. Okay, so that is what exactly this diagram depicts here, and exactly what it is conveying. Okay, so and the labeling of each and everything easily we can label. I hope you can do this. So these are the classes, this is association, and these are the operations, and these are the named objects. And since there is no name for this instance, anonymous object, and a company assigning development to a particular person, what is the purpose of the person, what he has to do, what message is sent from the company to him. Specifically, the message is given above the interaction sign. Okay, so that is what exactly about the links. And few more things if we want. So a link specifies a path along which one object can dispatch a message to another object, and most often it is sufficient to specify that such path exists. So that is what we are talking about here. And if we want more precise about path, so we can add on the appropriate end of the link with any of the following stereotypes. So stereotypes means, what exactly is stereotype? So extended vocabulary. So in order to give the extended vocabulary for a link, so then we can make more specific in the things by giving these stereotypes. So first one, when we say association, so it specifies that object is visible by association. Okay, so it's clearly seen by the relationship, what based on the relationship. So the object visibility is clearly given. And self, so object is visible because it is a dispatcher of the operation. So the object itself is the initiator, and which dispatches that operation to start execution. Then in that term we call it as self. But when it is enclosing the scope, okay, so that we call it as global scope. And when it is giving a local scope, we call it as local. And when we give the visibility as it is, when it is a parameter, then we say it as parameter. So these are the different standard stereotypes where we can make a link relation more specific by giving any of these stereotypes. And then moving on to the next terminology, that is about messages. So I was telling you about a message is nothing but the details of what is being communicated is given through a message. Okay, in UML we can model many kinds of actions. So a message can have any of these five. So call. When I want to call, I have to raise my voice, and in that voice specifically I am identifying a particular person and calling someone. So that is what call. Here also not only interaction, but specifically to whom you are sending, whom you are calling. So all the details have to be given there. So that is what call. Invokes an operation of an object, and object may send message to itself, resulting the local invocation of an operation. Okay. So it's like the class, sorry, object calling either another object to invoke, or calling itself, or the operation with its can start initiation means then it can be called. So return a value to the caller. Return. So when an object is returning a value to the caller, whoever might have called that object. So after function calling, so function definition will be executed. If any return statements are there, it has to return. Okay. So if not, wherever the function call was made, so it will go to the next line of it. So that is what written here, send. So sometimes we may send a signal also. Need not only just talking, I can do some kind of signs. Manually I'm saying. But whereas in system, we can say it as a signal also. Okay. So where we can set flags, true, false. Okay. So such things also we can say it as a signal. And create is a stereotype. Okay, so what we can, it's a message like a stereotype we give and which can create a message. And similarly, we can destroy an object also, and that may be destroyed by itself. Okay, so let's see these examples here in this scenario. So if you see here, client and planning assistant are the two classes, and its instances C and P are under interaction here. Okay, so the client say, just remember this example as reservation of railway ticket or air ticket, whatever it is. Okay, so the client means the user. When you want to travel, okay, you want to book a ticket, so that at that time what you have to do, create ticket agent. Create ticket agent means, so here you are going to give your details and create an instance to the ticket agent saying that I want the ticket to be booked. Okay, and set itinerary I. So that means you are giving all your details to the ticket agent. Okay, so your details have been given. So they may calculate the route, so which train and what details of yours. So checking itself, so whether it is available or not. Based on that, it is going to respond. Okay, so the ticket is available, you can avail it and it is booked. Some acknowledgement. Okay, if not, it is not available. It's not available, you can try it the other way, or in the waiting list, or you can book in Tatkal, some information what they want to give. Okay, so once this process of the user communicating with the system and system checking its status, whether the availability and giving the acknowledgement, is nothing but interaction. Not only creating, but also once the ticket is availed, say the ticket maybe you are booked for today long back, so you will travel, so that is availed. Okay, you have traveled over, maybe those details will be available in the databases maximum say 15 to 1 month later. So based on the duration however you give to maintain that status of the ticket details, so that will be there. Later it will be destroyed. So that is what we are giving the destroy action here. So now here this scenario, if you understand, I want all of you to concentrate on create and destroy here. See, if you see the first message, it is a stereotype. Message given as a stereotype for an interaction. That means it is creating an object. And here it is destroying the object. Whoever is the creator, so the same person is going to destroy. And after availing, maybe sometimes they may ask you to give your feedback. How was the travel and all? So that can be sent. So are you comfortable? Just say yes, no. So some kind of notification. So giving half arrow like this. Giving half arrow is nothing but signal. Okay, so we are notifying that we have availed and our feedback what we want to give. So that can be a kind of signal. So however they take feedbacks from us. So this is one scenario where I can show you all the different types of message labeling or message actions along with the interaction. So you can do many kind of actions. So these are the different things under messages. So moving on to the next terminology, that is about sequencing. Okay, so sequencing is the one where the messages are sent from one object to the other object in some scenario, or maybe few objects are involved and the communication is transferred from one to another and next so on. Okay, so that message sequence, who is first sending what message to whom, and later that second person is communicating to whom. So that sequencing of messages have to be maintained. Then only we'll understand what exactly the communication in the system is there. Okay, so this sequencing can be given in two ways. So one is procedural sequencing, the other one is flat sequencing. Procedural sequencing and flat sequencing. When I say procedural sequencing is nothing but we can give the sequence in the decimal form also. Say here, if you just see, concentrate here, second message 2.1, 2.2. Okay, so that is procedural. Okay, whereas flat means there won't be any kind of decimals. It is non-procedural, just flat sequence 1, 2, 3, just like integers 1, 2, 3 and so on it will be. But whereas procedural, it can be the like a recursive one, not recursive one I can say, in the decimal forms like 2, 2.1, 2.2 like that, or 2.1, 2.1.1, so like that it can give. That is what the procedural sequence is. So this ordering of messages can be given in two forms, procedural and non-procedural. Non-procedural we call it as flat sequence. So let's see an example for procedural sequence here. So here there is an anonymous object called view, and this is sending some message at. So when you click the controller, so when the click the controller with some parameter, so the controller is going to check find at, so where exactly the parameter whatever is given is available or not. Okay, and put the recent pick into the cache. So that is what the scenario what they have given here. So see the objects communication and also the interaction with the messages, and those messages numbering is our emphasis here. Messages numbering is our emphasis, which we call it as procedural sequence. So I can say, I can just save the first one as click it and then put recent pick if I don't have numbering. But if I have numbering, I know the correct procedure that who is the first message. So the message which is having the least number is the first message in that scenario. Later, soon after that, what is the sequence continued? Okay, so when I just track the sequence of messages, then I get to know the scenario of the given case study. Okay, so that is how we can give the procedural sequence. Whereas moving on to the second one, that which is called as non-procedural sequence. Non-procedural means they are flat sequence. Okay, no decimals I can say in numbers, but they can be just like whole numbers only. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So that is what flat or non-procedural sequences. So here caller C object is communicating with the telephone object and exchange object. So first the caller C is going to lift the headset. And once the headset is lifted, so that means he is connected to the telephone exchange. If he gets the dial tone, that means the telephone is working properly. And then when you type some number and then when a number is assigned, so that means it will be connected to some exchange, whether it is STD or ISD or whatever. So that is how the messages are given here. So here the caller, by lifting the handset, he can send some message to the telephone exchange that somebody is using this telephone instance. And after dialing, when we give, so that means that dialing message will be sent to some exchanger. So this is the number given. So if you see here, our emphasis is on message numbering only. It is like 1, 2 and so on. So just follow the sequence numbering in the scenario. So we'll get the context of what they are communicating. Okay. So when we follow the sequence, we are going to get the flow of control. So this is about sequencing. And then moving on to the next one. So the next one is about creation, modification and destruction. So an object created, modified and destroyed will be same as link, may come and go and among relationships. So to specify if any object link exists or leaves during interaction, we can attach one of the following constraints. So these are the constraints. New. So when we can give new, when we want to specify that instance or link is created during execution of enclosing interaction. Okay. So when exactly an object is created, then we can say it as new. And when it is destroyed, specify the instance of the link destroyed prior to the completion of the execution. Okay. So then we will give it as destroyed. And transient, we have come across this. If you remember, transient means, so the time duration from creation to destruction. So all that which is captured there, that we call it as transient. So specifies that instance or link created during execution of enclosing interaction but is destroyed before completion of the execution. So that means it's the period, so which is transient we call. Okay. So the next terminology, 7th one, it is about representations. Okay. So the representation, when we are modeling an interaction, we include both objects and messages. Yes or no? When we are talking about interactions, so interaction is between objects only. So objects we take. And that interaction is made more specific by using messages. Okay. So by using this, the representation of these objects and messages can be given in two ways. Can be given in two ways. So the first one, time ordering of messages. Time ordering of messages is nothing but sequence diagram. And the next one is emphasizing on the structural organization of the objects. So this is nothing but collaboration diagram. Okay. So that is what exactly they meant here. So the first kind we call it as sequence diagram. And the second one we call it as collaboration diagram. Okay. And both these diagrams are interaction diagrams. Why both these diagrams come under interaction diagrams? Interaction means objects and messages only. So the diagrams what can show about objects and messages are interaction diagrams. And interaction diagrams we have sequence and collaboration. So in sequence we show about objects and messages and their time ordering is nothing but sequence diagram. But whereas in collaboration, here also we take objects, messages, but the structural organization of those objects we show. That is what collaboration diagrams. Okay. So and this both diagrams, sequence and collaboration diagrams, we call them as isomorphic. So what exactly we mean by isomorphic is, so if one is generated, so the other one can be formed. If one is there, the other one can be easily generated without losing any data. Okay. So that is the meaning of isomorphic. Okay. So though their representations are different, but their meaning is the same. Okay, in sequence diagram, what exactly we are doing? We are going to give the lifeline of an object. Lifeline means how long that object will exist. Okay, and that with respect to some particular time. That is what we call it as sequence diagrams. Whereas the second one, we call it as collaboration diagrams, and we model the structural links that may exist among the objects in an interaction. So that is the second one. So here you need to just remember under this subheading representations. So representation of objects and messages are given in two. One is sequence diagram, that is about time ordering of messages. Whereas second one, collaboration, it's nothing but the organizational structure of the objects. Okay. So this is about the first part of this chapter. So moving on to the second part of this chapter is about common modeling techniques. So the first one, modeling the flow control. So modeling flow control is nothing but it's nothing but the representations what we can see. So how exactly the flow is transferred from one to the other. So here examples. So no example in specific here, but they are talking in general. So first we have, in order to model the flow control, first we need to know the context of interaction. Okay, about what scenario and what is the context. So we need to know that. And after that, at every stage of interaction, we need to identify their objects and their roles. Okay, and what are the initial properties of their attribute, state and role. And after we give these things, then we have to emphasize on the structural organization of this object. So that is nothing but the collaboration diagrams, and we need to identify the links, connections, paths, so what they exist, and specify the nature of links based on the stereotypes. If at all we want any details to be given in more specific, we can also use the stereotypes and constraints. What we have learned in the terminology can also be applied. In time order, we can specify the time ordering of messages, that is about sequence diagrams. Okay, and we have to convey the necessary details of the interaction and add on each object at every moment in time and state and role. Okay, so when we want to model flow of control, so these are the things what we have to take care. First, see the context, and after that we have to identify the interactions, and then see any organizational structure, structural organization of these objects is there, and time ordering of messages. And still, if at all we want to make more specific, we can give stereotypes and constraints necessary for the relationship link. Okay, so here an example is given, a set of objects that interact in context of a publish and subscribe mechanism. Okay, let's see here. Flow control by time means what? What diagram it is? Sequence diagram. So always, please, all of you pay attention and focus here, because these are the things, again, anyway we will be learning in interaction diagram separately we have, though this is about only interactions. Interaction diagrams we'll study in detail. But before going to that, you need to know this. So the objects are kept along the x-axis, whereas along the y-axis we give lifelines. So for every object there will be a lifeline. What do you mean by lifeline? From the time it is created, so until it is destroyed, so that is what we call the lifeline. Okay, so that is represented as dotted line in the UML diagrams. Okay, and once the objects are given along x-axis and lifelines along the y-axis, and then we may have a set of objects. but these objects also need to be kept in order. So here that ordering and all is not properly given, but this is not the exact sequence diagram what we are going to do in our practical, but the objects whatever are there to be communicated within some scenario or interacted. So whichever is object initiating first, sending message first, have to come first in the diagram. Okay, and then the second who is communicated, and then third one. Okay, but here it's given in reverse. But when we come into interaction diagrams, again clearly I'll tell you, and for the lab also I expect the same way. So here we have the publisher P instance, and stock quota subscriber 1 S1 and stock quota subscriber 2 S2. Okay, so here first subscriber is attaching some message to the publisher saying that I want your publication of book. Similarly, the second one is sending some message saying that I want the book what you have published. And this publisher is going to check itself. Notify means checking whether the books what they have asked for are available or not. If they are available, accordingly the updated message is sent to S1 instance, and we are going to get the response from the S1. So similarly, the update message is sent to S2, and the response from the S2 is also taken. Okay. So this scenario of showing, so if you focus here, we are able to see the interactions between the messages. But are these messages which are given on the interaction symbol are numbered? No. They are in the order. Step by step they are. So easily we can get the scenario what exactly we mean. So that is why we call this as time ordering of messages based on the time only. Though we don't specify the time here, but seeing the messages in stepwise, like one after the other, we can clearly make out what is the first message, what is the second message, third message, just going in order. That's how we get the flow control of this current scenario. So this diagram we call it as sequence diagram, time ordering of messages. And in time ordering of messages, we don't number any message here, but some tools they give numbering also here also. But let's study the basic concepts as sequence diagrams. Messages numbering won't be given. Okay, so the same diagram if at all we want to draw, so what exactly we have to do here? What are the objects given here? P, S1 and S2. So you take P, S1 and S2. Okay, and then so whatever the objects are there in sequence diagram, the same thing we are going to organize. Okay, so what is the first message sent? So from S1 to P. So from S1 to P, what is the first message sent? Attach S1. So if you can focus the first message, here we are not numbering, but here we are numbering. Attach S1 is the first message, and then attach S2 is the second message. So attach S2 is the second message, and third message is notify. So notify is the third message, and fourth one update. So fourth one update. Get update is the fifth one they are saying as the update, and sixth get update, and seventh get update, get state, sorry. Okay, so that's how we can retrieve based on the message numbering the flow control in collaboration diagrams. Only in collaboration we give the message sequencing. So can anyone tell me what sequencing is given here? What type of sequencing numbering is given here? Can anyone say whether it is procedural or flat? Flat sequence is given here. Okay. So these are the topics what I wanted to cover in today's class. So this is about the interactions.